Joining us now, New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew, who serves on the House Judiciary Committee. Give us your assessment, Congressman, of the effect of the strikes thus far.
John, this is a tale of two presidents. One president that has dealt with these issues on his knees, out of weakness. It all started in Afghanistan. The way that we left there was a disgrace. It then goes to Ukraine, where when, they were making noise that they were going to move in. When Putin was going to move in on Ukraine, we immediately should have been nipped in the bud, so we weren't involved there. And then it goes to the Mideast, and we see what's happening. The president that was there before Donald Trump dealt out of strength. Now, why does it matter? Because we should be dealing with Iran directly and saying, if this continues, you're going to feel the pain. Now, nobody wants a full-scale war. Nobody wants a full confrontation. But they don't want to lose in Iran vital assets. They don't want to be attacked. They don't want to endanger their regime. And it has to be made clear to them that when sanctions were removed, that they're going to be put back in place. It has to be clear to them that their vital assets are going to be removed because of what they're doing. And it has to be clear from the United States to Iran that they cannot enrich uranium the way they are. They are getting ever so close to having their own nuclear weaponry. John, when you deal out of weakness, you breed war. When you deal out of strength, you breed peace.
A lot of people are saying Iran cannot be allowed to get a nuclear weapon, Congressman, but nobody seems to be stopping it. And I don't think you can count on the Iranians to suddenly throw up their hands and say, okay, we don't really want one.
We're dealing with Iran like this is some civilized country in Europe or in the Western Hemisphere. Their philosophy is different. They will use every force they can to export terrorism and to bring terrorism into the Mideast, and more than that, to gain power on their own and wreak destruction on the world. This is not a country that can be dealt with by negotiating. It's not a country that could be dealt with by removing the sanctions and giving them more money to enrich uranium, to export terrorism all throughout the world and in the Mideast. They have to know they're going to feel the pain. I believe we're doing exactly what they want. Now, should we go after the Houthis? Of course. We should do that. We should make sure that they realize we mean business. But that is not going after the head of the monster. The head of the snake will keep biting you if you're only cutting off the tail. The Houthis aren't making the decisions. The Iranians are making the decisions, and we know that. It was such a big mistake to stop the sanctions, to show that we were getting weaker. This administration actually thought they were going to deal with them by negotiating bargains and wheeling and dealing and saying, we're sorry for doing some things and we know you're sorry and we're all going to work together. I mean, I really am not exaggerating. Why would you take those sanctions off? Why did we unfreeze the $6 billion? Why did we deal with them out of weakness? God knows I don't understand it, but we're never going to make any real headway, and we're going to get more and more involved. By the way, we're involved in Ukraine now. We're involved in the Mideast, and none of this existed 4 years ago.
It sounds like you would advocate attacks on Iranian infrastructure itself.
On key infrastructure and in certain areas. I don't mean a full-on war, but they have to know that they're going to feel the pain. I would first start with a serious conversation, not a conversation from weakness, a conversation that they would believe, a basic phone call, the Ayatollah and others there. You do this, you're going to feel pain. If you don't stop, you're going to feel pain. This is no time for weakness, because look what we've done, John. Look where we are. We're getting more and more involved around the world and getting ever closer to literally having full-scale wars where the United States is involved. I'm tired of bleeding our men and our women all around the world because we're not dealing with these individual countries the way that we should. They need strength. They need to feel our force.
Let's talk about an issue that concerns Americans right here at home, and that's the situation at the southern border. Are the House and the Senate going to get to be, you think, on a border bill that is going to stop the flow of illegals?
Look, the democratically controlled Senate, along with some Republicans, unfortunately, are producing a piece of legislation that I will never vote for, and I don't believe the House of Representatives will vote for, and I don't believe our Speaker will even post the bill. It basically is the codification of illegal immigration, allowing up to 2 million more illegals to cross our border every single year. You know, and I don't mean to be political here, but it's a political issue. The Democrats have an end game, and their end game is to change the Electoral College, to change the census, so that they can never lose an election again. Otherwise, Joe Biden wouldn't be allowing this to happen, but their end game is to win. And unfortunately, Americans are feeling the pain. Do you know, John, that what we're doing is we're giving them welfare. We're giving them, in some places, the right to drive. We're giving them ID cards. They're going to be able to vote. And more than that, they're going to be costing our country and the hardworking people who are breaking their back every day to make a living billions and billions of dollars. They're getting health care in some states, and our own Americans are still fighting to get health care sometimes.
New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Congressman, thank you.
Thank you.
Much more ahead for you on the Fox Report, including this. What will the Fulton County, Georgia DA prosecute